What's up everyone, Chris with Salty Island, and today we're kicking off our new narrative campaign for Age of Sigmar. We're going to be playing our own narrative through Seasons of War Thondia. This is the new campaign setting in Age of Sigmar, and while as of the time of this filming we know it's not quite out yet, we wanted to give you all a little glimpse at some of the armies that will be taking part in our narrative. Before we get into it, just wanted to remind everyone to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as we will be doing our ongoing narrative for Age of Sigmar games, and we want you all to follow along. While you're at it, hit the notification bell, as that will tell you the next time the next part of our narrative is going up. Now, let's get on with the story. To set the backdrop, all across the realms, things have been changing. The land has begun to act of its own will, and even before these changes, Ghur, the realm of beasts, has always been the most savage and brutal. Forces of order have begun to spread out and are trying to tame these wild lands, and the lands have begun fighting back, clearly displeased at the forces that are trying to bring a semblance of calm in a land that is literally the living embodiment of being wild and free. And where there's fighting, you are gonna find mercenaries who are willing to fight for the right price. One such faction is the Kharadron Overlords, and today we've got Salty Shy in the house, bringing his new army with him. What do you got?
All right. Well, I brought 600.
Who the hell are you?
Well, I'm shy. Salty Shy.
What are you
Salty
doing
Shy.
here?
What? I'm apparently bringing broken armies and like things people don't like to see. Maybe. Ruin days. It's actually 585 of Kharadron Overlords. We're using the sub faction Barak Zahn, led by the Endrin Master, Goldbeard, Demon Slayer.
Well, it's canon now.
It's canon. Who he's got the Bearer of Iron Star and the Aether Sped Hammer, along with two Arcanite companies, 10-man, volley pistol, Aether shot cannon, light skyhooks, and one unit of Thunderers. 5-man Thunderers, all with the, I think they're Aether rifles or whether, and one double rifle. And then one gun hauler with the sky cannon and the collapsible compartment.
600 points.
600 points.
This faction is currently in Kaimon, the realm of metal. However, upon hearing of the fighting taking place in Ghur, they make the decision to send a small scouting force over there to scout out the opportunities to make some coin. However, the realm of metal is not without its own battles, and the scouting force is ambushed by a Tzaangor tribe of the Disciples of Tzeentch. They are looking for easy pickings in this small scout group as they make their way towards one of the realm gates. What's up? Today I'm playing 600 points of Disciples of Tzeentch, and specifically I'm doing a Tzaangor themed army. For our leader, we've got the Tzaangor Shaman on the disc. He is our general. He's got the command trait Boundless Mutation, the Artifact of Power, the Spiteful Shield, and he does have one spell. We're going to go with Glimpse the Future to see if we can get some additional Destiny dice. For the battle line, we have 10 Tzaangors on foot. The full mix of weapons with Savage Blades, Savage Great Blades, and Mutants. It's a bit of a complicated unit. I do hope they clean that one up. For the rest of the army, we have 3 Tzaangor Skyfires. That's the ones with the bows and magical disc. And rounding out the list, we have a Tzeentch Chaos Spawn. Total, that is 590. So whether or not this is going to be a close game is to be seen. But points-wise, that's what they said. So let's take a look and see how this goes. The mission we're playing today is straight from the core rulebook in the narrative play section, The Trap. Kharadron Overlords are playing as the invader side, as they have crossed over into the Tzaangor tribe territory. The KO set up their entire army first in one corner of the battlefield, their choosing. Their mission is to survive the ambush, so they can reach their destination with as much of their forces intact. To that end, they will score 1 victory point at the end of each battle round for each unit that is still alive. On the other end, the Tzaangors of the Disciples of Tzeentch get the rest of the battlefield to set up on, and they also must be 12 inches from the KO lines. They are the ambushers, and get to decide who gets the first action in the first round. They are looking to wipe out the KO, and to that end, they will score 2 victory points for each unit they destroy. In addition, the game will be using battle tactics each round for some additional scoring. Lastly, they are in Kaimon, the realm of metal, and as such, we decided to roll for mysterious terrain for that large metal structure featured in the center of the table, and it came up mystical. This means that the entire structure provides a 6+ ward save if you are on or within 1 inch of it. Now, let's get on with the game and see if the Kharadron Overlords will be able to survive the battle with enough strength left to travel to Gur, or will the schemes of the Tzaangors of the Disciples of Tzeentch let them gather the resources to strengthen their tribe for the upcoming war. Having deployed aggressively, the Disciples of Tzeentch choose to go first in that first battle round. At the start of the game, the Disciples of Tzeentch pray to the God of Change, and they get to roll 9 destiny dice. These are 9 dice that they can use in place of various rolls throughout the game, and Tzeentch blesses them with a respectable spread on this dice roll. In the hero phase, both Goldbeard and the High Burb Priests attempt to roll for bonus command points, but both fail. In addition, the High Burb Priest attempts to call upon the winds of magic, but fails on his casting roll. The Disciples also have a rule called Agendas of Anarchy, in which they can make some claims that will provide units buffs should they be successful. We'll mention these if they become relevant throughout the game. Turn 1. The Disciples of Tzeentch declare a battle tactic, Broken Ranks, looking to kill a battle line unit right away and get on the scoreboard. The entire army surges forward aggressively, with the Skyfires, the Shaman, and the Spawn all getting close to that center terrain to gain its mystical defense bonus. The Tzaangor shriek loudly as they eye up those dwarves preparing to make their charge. Skyfires have magical bows, each getting 1 shot, targeting the Arcanauts, getting 3 hits because of the bonus from the nearby Shaman, and then landing 3 wounds. KO, however, are wearing respectable armor, and they make 1 save. Each shot deals D3 wounds though, but fate is not on their side, as they only put 2 wounds through. The Tzaangors then look to make the charge, but in response, the Arcanauts declare Unleash Hell, getting to open fire at the Tzaangors at -1 to hit. A barrage of gunfire slams into the approaching forces, killing 2 of the Tzaangors. Looking to make this charge, the Tzaangors spend the destiny dice, guaranteeing a 5 on one of the dice, and they roll a 4, successfully making the charge into the KO lines. Now that they're in, the Arcanauts declare all-out defense, buffing up their armor even further. Tzaangors have a weird mix of weapons between Savage Great Blades, Paired Savage Blades, Mutants, Beaks, though despite the ferocity of their attacks, they only manage to slay one of the Overlords. The Overlords swing back, but they themselves, not being close combat unit, put only 1 wound on one of the Tzaangors. In the Battle Shock phase, the Arcanauts take strength, getting a bonus from being within 12 inches of one of their sky vessels. Seeing its flying strength gives them hope, and the bonus lets them pass their Battle Shock tests. Tzaangors, on the other hand, receive the order Inspiring Presence. This lets them automatically pass and stay in the fight as well. The resilience of the Kharadron Overlords stuns the High Burb Priests, as the Disciples of Tzeentch brace themselves for the Overlord's counterattack. The KO choose Savage Spearhead as their battle tactic. This means they've got to get 2 or more units into the Tzeentch deployment zone. Not that hard given that they're basically right on the line already. The Injured Master, Goldbeard Demon Slayer also declares Finest Hour, while the Tzaangor Shaman, the High Burb Priest, fails to generate a command point yet again. With that, the second unit of Arcanauts up top and the Injured Master push forward into the Tzeentch territory, while the Arcanaut frigate flies up high and comes down on the bottom of the table, surprising the Shaman, who had somehow forgotten that this was a thing that they can do, despite that the Kharadron Overlords do this every single time that they fight. The Overlords excel in the shooting phase, and in response the Tzaangors declare all-out defense. The volley gun fires point-blank range, killing 2 Tzaangors, and the Skyhook fells a 3rd. Up top, the 2nd Arcanaut unit fires into the Skyfires on the metal hill, though with the added protection that the Realm of Metal provides, they only take 2 wounds. Lastly, the frigate, and more importantly, the unit of 5 Thunderers that it carries, opens fire directly into the Shaman. 10 shots, hitting on 3s, getting 10 hits, and landing 7 wounds with a -1 to the rend. The Shaman burns 2 Destiny dice to guarantee some saves, then sticks a 3rd. Lastly, Realm of Metal provides 2 ward saves thanks to its mystical terrain, and Tzeentch has blessed his servant, letting him survive. Until the boat opens fire. The cannon firing its shrapnel shots, blasting 4 wounds into the high burb, shredding him in a puff of feathers as he falls from the sky. The Indran Master charges into the back of the Tzaangors. He gets 5 attacks thanks to his command trait, and swinging in with his relic hammer. Right off the bat, he rolls a 6 on the hit roll, which automatically deals 3 mortal wounds. Then, with a few more attacks, he sticks 3 more wounds through, killing 3 of the Tzaangors total, bringing the unit down to 2 models. The Tzaangors hack back at the unit, looking to grind them down, and they slay 2 more of the dwarves. The remaining Arcanauts are now fighting for their lives. Though they fail to do any wounds to the Tzaangors, they are holding on by a thread. They pass their battle shock tests, while the Tzaangors themselves spend one of the Destiny dice to allow them to pass automatically as well. And at the end of the first turn, the Kharadron Overlords score 5 points for having all 5 of their units still on the table, and an additional 1 for completing their battle tactic. While on the other side, the Disciples of Tzeentch have failed to kill the battle line unit, and on top of that, have failed to kill any units, giving them a score of 0. Rolling for activation on turn 2, the Disciples of Tzeentch win the roll and look to carry the momentum by going first again. The Indran Master fails the command point, while the Disciples of Tzeentch no longer have a hero on the battlefield. Tzeentch here has played a little trick on us. We did make a mistake, and we accidentally allowed the Tzaangors to spend the command point to rally, even though you aren't supposed to be able to rally if a unit is in close combat. With Tzeentch's trick, 3 dead Tzaangors come back to life. Hopefully that will let the Tzaangors be a little more successful this round. For its battle tactics, Tzeentch declares Slay the Warlord, hoping to bring down the unit count from the Kharadron and finally get themselves on the battlefield scoreboard. Spawn and Skyfires then reposition themselves, Spawn readying to charge into the Indran Master, and the Skyfires beginning an aerial duel with the frigate, firing their magical bows as they engage. They land 1 hit. Being a 6, it deals an automatic 3 mortal wounds against the boat. In close combat, the Tzaangors attack first, as the Indran Master declares all-out defense. Tzaangors throw all their attacks into him, but his defense is too strong, as they bounce off his gleaming armor, dealing him no wounds, and in return, the Indran Master hefts his relic hammer, swinging it down and crushing the spawn's head, slaying it before it's even able to make a single attack. On the other side, the Arcanauts continue to fight for their lives, swinging and hitting, and then landing no wounds. No matter though, as the Disciples of Tzeentch have failed to kill their target, and all the units of the Overlords live on. In the Kharadron turn 2, their battle tactic is to kill the unit of Tzaangors, the only battle line on that side, and on top of that, the Indran Master successfully rolls for the extra command point. The Thunderers disembark from the frigate before it takes off to reposition itself on the cover of the mystical structure, while the Arcanauts up top double back, looking to lend their aid to the fight if necessary. The Arcanauts in close combat blast into the Tzaangors, killing 2 more of them, and the frigate continues its aerial duel with the Skyfires. It fires at them, cannon shots blasting shrapnel shred one of them from the skies. Down on the ground, the Thunderers now get the command for all-out attack, targeting the Skyfires in the air so they can hit on 2s, and then wounding on 4s, landing 7 wounds. 2 saves sees 1 more of the Skyfires fall from the sky. The Injured Master swings first, and this time it's the Tzaangors who declare all-out defense in close combat. The Injured Master gets his 5 attacks, but this time he fails to stick any of the wounds. And the Tzaangor swing back, spending 3 Destiny dice. This time they choose to try and take out the unit of the Arcanauts. They get 3 automatic hits, but only land 2 wounds, which kills 4 of the Arcanauts. The last Arcanaut fails to deal any wounds, but he hangs on for dear life, passing that battle shock test, while the Skyfire down below spends a Destiny dice to pass on his end as well. Things are looking bad for the Disciples of Tzeentch, as they once again fail to kill any units of the Overlords, though both sides have failed their battle tactic this round. This brings the score of Kharadron Overlords 11, Disciples of Tzeentch 0. Things look bleak as the Overlords have a commanding lead and strong presence on the table. Looking for spike kills, the Tzaangor fails to land any hits, and the Tzaangors in combat throw 2 of their attacks into the last model, but despite their best efforts, they fail to land any wounds. Then, to add insult to injury, the Injured Master hefts his Relic Hammer, throwing his 5 attacks, getting 3 natural 6s, which trigger his bonus to deal 9 mortal wounds, completely wiping out the Tzeentch Tzaangors. The last Skyfire, seeing the forces before him decimated, turns and flees the battlefield. It is a massive victory for the forces of Goldbeard Demon Slayer and his Kharadron Overlords, as not a single unit was slain in the ambush. On top of that, Goldbeard himself notched 2 unit kills, a worthy tale to tell. Also shout out to that last surviving Arcanaut for hanging on and fighting for dear life. He deserves a MVP throw as well. Gathering up their forces, the Kharadron Overlords make their way safely to the Realm Gate, waiting to take them to the Realm Gur. They are looking forward to the many battles that await them in the upcoming campaign for the Seasons of War, Thondia. Big shout out to Salty Shy for bringing his Kharadron Overlords. It's beautifully painted, and we're looking forward to getting more games in. And thank you all for watching this video. We really appreciate your support. Go ahead and hit that like button if you want to see more battle reports for Age of Sigmar. And like I said, we appreciate all support. So thank you everybody. Look forward to our next game. And most importantly, peace out.